Hi guys, welcome back. Today I am going to show you how to use Cricut Hat Press to make some really cute hats. So stick around. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela Flip and Flutter Creations, and today I'm going to show you how to use the Cricut Hat Press to sublimate two different kinds of hats. So first I'm going to show you everything that came in the box when I purchased the box and I unboxed all the items out of it. So let's take a look at that, and then I will show you how to use the actual hat press and the app that Cricut has that goes along with it. So let's check it out. So now that I've got that unboxed, we are going to get the machine turned on, because before you can use the app that comes with it, you do have to turn on the machine, and then it'll allow you to sync with your app. So to turn it on, all I'm going to do is click the temperature button, which if you look beside it is also the power button. Okay, and it's going to start to heat up. And this is the app. This is the app that I have. I downloaded this from the Play Store because I have an Android phone. You should be able to access that from the Apple Store or whatever store that you have that you download your apps from. It's called Cricut Heat. And this allows me to connect through Bluetooth to my hat press. And so when I got the press, I followed the instructions that came. Oh, look, it's ready to go. That didn't take very long for it to heat up. I followed the directions that came with the setup. You can also do setup new heat press, and it will walk you through how to set up whatever press that you may have. I only have the hat press, and I've already gotten that set up here. So as you can see, it shows it's connected because it's powered on. It would show not connected if I hadn't pushed the power button yet. So you can get all these neat guides and everything through the app, which is really cool. And we are going to use it to start a new project. Now the nice thing is I've actually already practiced on some hats, and I've already done the settings. So it actually shows what I want right here in last use, but I'm gonna do start a new project so that I can walk you through that. We're going to use the hat press, and I'm going to transfer material, hit select. It's going to bring up every type of material. We're going to scroll all the way to the bottom because we're going to use infusible ink, which I'm not actually using Cricut's infusible ink, but infusible ink from Cricut is basically the same as using sublimation materials and sublimation ink. So those are the settings that we want to use. And I am using a transfer sheet. So I use A-sub paper, but Cricut has their own infusible ink transfer sheet. So we're basically going to say that's what we're using, even though we're using our own type of paper. Always use a compatible blank. So polyester or a polyester blend. I've got it set to, we're going to pick polyester. So the transfer material is a infusible ink sheet, which for us is just an A-sub. I've got two different transfers I'm going to do because I'm going to show you two different types of hats, and I've already got those printed and ready to go. Don't forget to mirror your image, and I've got those already printed and set, and we are going to apply them to polyester hats. I've got one that I got from Michael's $2.99 or Hobby Lobby for $2.99 that is polyester, and then another one I also got from Hobby Lobby that is more of like a trucker style hat. Now, I will say this version you can also get at Michael's, and I found them, I don't even think they were $2.99. They might have been $1.99. I can't remember. So check it out. You don't have to use the Cricut materials. You don't have to use certain, you know, certain types of brands if you don't want to. I'm gonna take the little flaps out of here. This one doesn't have one, so, okay. So first I'm gonna show you what it's gonna look like when you use a seam and you have to do a hat that's got a seam. You can do it right here in the middle. It's doable. You just need to watch before you peel your transfer sheet and make sure that it's really gotten transferred right here down the center. You could also put your transfer here so you don't have to worry about the seam, or you can look at purchasing one without a seam, which might be a little bit easier. The only thing you have to worry about on the flat surface is because it's kind of like a mesh, you're more likely to see that outline that sometimes happens with sublimation, which is why I've actually torn the sides of all of my sheets that I'm gonna be using, because I wanted to try and keep the hard line from happening. So I'm gonna turn my phone back on, make sure I've got this ready to go. I'm going to go ahead now that I've set my material and what I'm applying it to. I'm going to click next, and now it's got everything ready for me. It says what I'm using. It says that we're going to do a 5-second preheat on the blank. It's going to press for 90 seconds and then you're going to peel it when it's cool. Now I will say I've done a few of them and 90 seconds is too much. And it says to do light pressure, and I found it needs a little bit heavier of a hand. So keep those things in mind. I will pre-press it. We'll pre-press one, we'll let it cool, and then we will pre-press the second one while the other one is cooling, and then we'll start putting both of our transfer sheets on there, and we'll do one at a time. But I will say, we'll probably use a little bit less time than the 90 seconds. So before I click on this to let it send it to the settings to the hat press, first I want to get my first one on the form. So you get this cool form, which is nice, the form of your hat set so that you don't accidentally like smush it. But I will say you want to get it on there pretty tight, and you want the handle part at the bottom. So I'm just kind of squeezing it on there, and now I'm just trying to clip, there we go, clip that in there, okay? Oh, I forgot to pull the flap down on this one, which I'm just preheating, so it's okay. Make sure if you have a flap that you pull it out. Otherwise you might end up with that line like up here. You don't want that. So then once I get it on there, I like to push down to make sure it's actually flat, because you'll see when we get to this one, I couldn't get it as tight as say this one. So I did notice that if I wasn't careful about where I put it on the form, it almost didn't feel like it was solid behind it. So just watch that. Okay, so I'm gonna put my form, and on this hat, I'm going to do this cute little mama print. Obviously it's backwards because you've got to mirror your image. And I am going to, oh, gotta pre-press. What am I doing? I don't wanna put that on there yet. We wanna pre-press. Now, one thing you probably should do, and I don't have it in here in I can't find it right now, is you probably want to go ahead and use a lint roller on your hats just to try and get any kind of fibers or anything up. I can't find my lint roller, so we're gonna wing it. It's fine, the hat's for me. I'm gonna use just copy paper instead of my butcher paper, because my butcher paper's in the garage and copy paper works just as well. So I just cut up a piece. So before I do that, I've got this ready. We're just gonna pre-press. So I'm gonna do send settings to hat press and click go. Now you heard it beep, and we're just going to hit the play, and it's pre-pressing. It's gonna beep, it's done pre-pressing. So it lets you know, hit that so it stops. And then the problem is that I accidentally just set it to go. I didn't mean to do that. So we're just gonna go back. Oops, there we go. Because I wasn't quite ready yet. We're not ready for skipping. Oh, we're not ready to do that yet. Okay, what did I do? It keeps saying, there we go. Go back. We weren't there yet. Finish. There we go. Okay, so that's fine. We don't need the timer right now. Actually, I want to say I didn't even really use the timer after all was said and done. This is actually pretty cool already. that's not super hot. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and go forward with my next step. Lost my tape. Here's my cool tape. Love this tape, guys. It's purple. This is Cricut brand. Normally I don't use Cricut brand of almost anything. I love the machines, but I usually use different products for like tape and stuff like that because honestly Cricut's usually more expensive. But I really like the purple. It's a strong grip heat tape. I have not been able to find anything that really rivals this Cricut brand. I also could not find this Cricut brand at Michael's. I did finally find it at Hobby Lobby though. So just in case you're wondering, because when you get your hat press, it does come with a small amount of it, and you're gonna want the strong grip for the hats because it just does not want to stick with regular. I did try my other heat tape, my regular heat tape, and it did not. So you just want to make sure you have it even. And usually, you know, I fold my image so that I can find the halfway point, look up at the light and try to make sure. So there's my halfway point. The nice thing is I have this little crease right here, which tells me where the halfway is. So I'm going to kind of go up a little bit. Now I'm going to tape this down on one side. Okay. And then try to make this pretty snug and tape it down on the other side. Now, the first time I did this, I actually taped down my butcher paper, and like I was trying to keep the paper down as well on top of this, and I just found that was not working. So now I'm just gonna let it, the butcher paper kind of just lay on top. And I'm gonna kind of go back and forth. It tells you to like do like this, back and forth, but I just worry so much about the ghosting. So I kind of lift up and lift down and push, lift up, lift down and push. And you will see that what I'm going to do is I'm going to check it frequently because the 90 seconds I have found is too long. The items start to turn a little brown. So I like to check it because as you can see here, you can kind of see the image and the pictures, but when it has sublimated really well, you'll actually be able to see that color lift through to this side. So I just try to check. I'll check every once in a while and I'll be like, do I have full color coming through? If I do, I stop. And if I don't, I try to figure out where do I need to go. So I am not going to use the app anymore because you don't have to have the app. You can, I mean, you don't have to use the app to hit play. So we're just going to hit play. And like I said, I found it needs a little bit more pressure than what it kind of tells you that it needs. Just try to get that on there as much as you can. Now, I watched several tutorials and they were like going, and I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. Like, aren't you worried about ghosting? I get a little nervous about the ghosting. So you can start to see that some of that is already coming through. And I'm not really moving it a whole lot because my image really fits the width of the press. Most of the hats really are going to be about that size. So you really shouldn't have the need to move it around except to try and make sure that you're hitting all those angles. So I'm just kind of pushing down, but kind of lifting up. I just really don't like the shove. And make sure you get closer to the edge up here. That's where I found I made my most of my mistakes, either closer to the bill or further up at the top, like forgetting to get, okay. So to me, if you look closely, you can see that color shining through there really well. And to me, it looks pretty good. You can even see that the paper's kind of browning. Oh, and see, that was almost the 90 seconds, whatever it was there. So I think we're gonna stop and hope that we got this correct. It does say cold peel, so we can give it a second, but I'm really impatient. That's part of my problem. I really like to just peel it because I want to know. But I also want to be kind of careful about it because if it's not good enough, I could, oh no, that looks good. All right, we're going to see if we can't peel this off. Cold peel, mold peel. I know, I'm weird, guys. It's so pretty. Oh, I love it. Look how cute. And if you have, oh, I don't know if I did that or the machine did that. Maybe we need to cover it a little bit more. You can see some of the lines, but not much. Like, it did not make like a really solid line. Again, like I said, I like to tear the edges, and it keeps from getting that real strong line. Look how cute that is, guys. Isn't that adorable? The colors are super vibrant. And like I said, that was not 90 seconds. I was pushing down, not like super strong, because that is when you'll get those lines, but I was giving it a little bit of pressure. And again, this could have been because I didn't use my lint roller, so you may want to use that. So then you can just take this off. Boop. And you've still got your nice cute form. It didn't get all smushed. You can push your little piece back up, and then you've got your cute little hat. Okay, I love it. Very exciting, and a little more affordable if you don't want to go the route of a big hat press. I made sure I got it when it was on sale. So wait for a sale, go in and go forth. Now, if you're doing like 100 a day or something, obviously the press is probably going to be a little bit better for you. But I sat in front of my TV and did like 15 hats one night. No issues. Now they were like this. So my biggest struggle is I was really having to figure out the seam. So that's what we're going to do right now. So again, we are going to put our hat on our press, or on our form. Okay. Again, you want this part down. You want your little thing here. Pull that up a little bit. Get that around there. Boop. Okay. Now I've got to tighten it because this one a little loose there. Before I do that, let's make sure. These are the ones I kind of struggle with making sure it's flat on here. Kind of pokes up a little bit there, in my opinion. So you kind of really gotta push that down. So, and then I'm just gonna really tight, oh, not with my finger in there, and get it reattached. Okay. And then again, just make sure it's kind of flat. So see, I always find like a little gap right here. So I do try to move my design up to about here. So we'll see if that works. Otherwise I may have to adjust some more because it just, I don't know. This definitely pressed. That was my first time doing one like that. And that definitely pressed much easier than what I have seen. So again, you should probably lint roll right here. And then we're going to get another piece of paper. I'm gonna cut that, put that over there just to protect my hat. And I'm gonna hit play. Even though I didn't go back in and say I'm just pre-pressing, again, like we can kind of circumvent the app if we need to. And for me, that's what I'm doing. I'm just gonna pre-press, there. Hit the stop thing on that, the little button again. Okay, this one I did get a little hot. Okay, so while that cools a little bit, and you can kind of see the wrinkles a little bit up here. So that's gonna show you, like, you either need to adjust your form. There we go, it's a little bit better. Or just watch how far up you put your design. So we're gonna get us another piece of tape. The nice thing is that it's so thick, I just kind of cut a piece and then cut it in half, or you can cut just thinner pieces than you normally would with a, ugh, that's so sticky. Okay, almost there. So I'm gonna take my design and I'm gonna fold it in half and just see, like I put it up to the light and make sure the line here and the line here, when you hold it up to the light, you can match them up. Like this one, I didn't even have to hold up to the light because I could see it, okay? And the nice thing is you have your center right there, super easy. So, all right, I think we're cool. So again, I wanna watch how far up I go and also how far down I go. This is the one that we're gonna start to see why you really gotta be careful sometimes, because the seam really does like to be a booger. And you could put extra tape down, and I might on this one just because of how it's kind of flapping up here. Well, but I found that the more tape I had when I went to peel it, it sometimes would cause me a problem. So I think we're just gonna see how it does without it and kind of hope for the best. Okay, all right, here we go, guys. Put our paper back on there. All right, start it up. Get that down, get that pressure. Again, I like to lift up and move it around. Make sure you get down closer to the bill, because again, that's where I've noticed sometimes my coloring is not as perfect there, or that's where some of my errors have shown up. Okay, so I'm gonna lift this up just to see. Okay, so here's an example. If you look, let me set this down for just a second. If you look right here, you can see this is looking really good, but see how light that is? You can tell where it hasn't pressed yet just because of that coloring not showing through. So once I kind of got that kind of figured out, I was able to like not pull the paper up and potentially ruin it. So mine was at the top and the bottom. It didn't really have that look like it was done yet. So let's get that. Go on each side again. On each side again. And let's check it now. Still a little bit on the bottom. I think the top definitely is much better, but definitely a little bit that around that R and that E. So I just need to push in a little bit heavier. Oh, I still like it. I'm gonna push that again, because I had to put it down when I was. I'm getting it, I see it. I mean, I'm gonna get creative because I don't know why I can't get that color to really show through. It's there, but I can tell that part is going to be lighter than all the rest. I don't know. I don't want it to get too dark, but I also can tell okay. Let's see. I think that's about as good as we're gonna get without burning. That's my issue right now, is I'm worried I'm gonna burn the rest of it. You can see the paper, kinda. All right. So let's see what happens. And if I completely messed it up on the bottom, that's why I'm telling you, these seam ones, whew. Out great. I was probably worried for nothing. All right, and there's your seam. Yay! So again, you just really got to watch that coloring. We saw when first time I took it up, you could see it was really colored well in the middle, but toward the bottom and toward the top it wasn't. So just push down again on those areas until you can see that color kind of become more vibrant on the outside. And see it through the paper, because once you can see it through the paper, it's adhered, it's sublimated to your item. So yay! Made myself a cute hat to wear at some of my in-person shows. It's gonna be so cute. Yay! All right, well, I'm so excited that both of those worked. So you guys can see, I'm like really excited about this. It's so cute. It's so cute. Love it. They both turned out really well, so I'm excited about that. So thank you so much for swinging by my channel and checking out the video. If this was helpful for you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you can be notified the next time I post a tutorial. Thanks so much for swinging by. If you want to check out any of the products that I've used in this video, take a look at the product description down below where I'll link all the products that I have used here. Thanks again for swinging by. See you next time. Bye.